Hello, Kerri Konik from Brandscape Atelier. Welcome to the Academy. I have had laryngitis for over a week, and so my voice is quite scratchy. But I can't wait to speak to you, so here I am. Our video concept today is about brand identity, misrepresenting yourself. And this is for the small business entrepreneur startup, about the cost of misrepresenting what you can deliver on. Okay, so let's say I've identified a target audience, what they care about, what they like, and you're shooting for something maybe very sophisticated or very elegant, and you create beautiful your graphic designer team builds beautiful design, the work is excellent, the website is gorgeous, and you're reaching that audience that you're looking to reach, and that is fantastic. And then when they hire you and they work with you, or they go to your restaurant or have an experience of your brand, and what your brand is will be revealed, the experience will happen anyway. Who you really are versus what you can deliver against and who you say you are. I tend to call this facade branding versus authentic branding. So what I'm talking about right now is facade branding. The problem with it is the client or the customer has the experience of your brand, and the decision of the value of their experience takes place in the downtime. Let me explain what I mean. In our brand EQ module, we always outline and design the experience and the emotional aspect of the journey that the customer is going to have with our brand. And if it's an environmental space, when they enter the store or the restaurant, and what's happening emotionally and what needs to happen on each step of that touch point. And what happens is when you're in engagement with a client, they learn about you, they're aware, they get educated, they buy, they use your services, and then what happens is they go away and they go home, and the decision about the value of that happens in this segment. It happens in the quiet time. The value is calculated in their psyche, and the customer puts a negative value on their brand experience, and then they just identify the incongruence, unconsciously now identify that feeling and experience that they had with your brand, and it's an incongruence because you are positioning something here, and the experience they had didn't measure up. And so this is really dangerous. This is very expensive, because in the negative, it's really hard to get their attention again. So what is the antidote for that? The antidote for that is to be extremely authentic in representing what you do and what your positioning is and the way you do what you do. And so when you're in your identity phase of building your brand, or articulating what you stand for, who you work for, why, and what you do for them, you need to be honest with yourself about how much you can deliver. So when you're shooting for it to be something other than where you are today, you will fail, because the discrepancy between what you're conveying and what you're delivering is measurable in the hearts and minds of your customer. Okay, so don't do that. What you need to do is just be extremely accurate and clear in your strategy segment of building your brand, so that you really, really know the style in which you deliver, the personality. I mean, if you're casual, don't try to be elegant and stuffy because you think your target audience that you're shooting for might be more elegant and more sophisticated, and that you might not fit in. You need to be authentic. You need to convey who you are, because you will convey that after the marketing and after they enter your restaurant, and the whole situation, the whole experience was casual, that will create a negative value in your brand. So we don't want you to do that. All right, so be super authentic, be who you are, and speak to the audience that wants to relate to who you are, because then you will grow exponentially. If you speak to the audience that really values who you really are, it's like a herald's call. They're going to align, the right customer is going to align to you, and they're going to stay, and they're going to be loyal, and they're going to tell their friends, and they're going to create incredibly positive value to that brand experience, and then they're going to become a repeat customer, and then they're going to become a loyal customer. So I hope you can see where the disconnect is by trying to shoot for something that your brand doesn't really embody. Okay, and that goes the other way too. If you are quite elegant and sophisticated, okay, but you're trying to play like be kind of hip or be kind of cool, and that's not who you really are, they'll get, there's a lot that goes on in the mind of the customer. They feel duped. They feel there's an unconscious sense of anger that develops, and they again, they apply a real negative connotation to feeling like they were bait and switched. Your assignment is to look at your identity and look at your design and what you're communicating visually and with everything, of course, and making sure that it's really in alignment with what you can deliver. Okay, so if you're having a lot of negative feedback or customers that aren't returning, you may want to dig in a little bit and figure out if you're misaligned and creating a deficiency. All right, thank you, and I'll see you next time.